know about you. If you've had an earache or you get an itchy ear, and it happens to me all the time, itchy ear, first thing I kind of reach out for is a cotton bud, one of those little bud things, and Q-tips, whatever you want to call them, and yeah, have a little Rootle, because it's just, it's awful, isn't it, that itch? Or maybe you've got a blocked ear and you're thinking, actually, it could be just a bit of wax that's kind of stuck in there. What is the best thing to do? Now, I've been told so many times, don't use a cotton bud, because they can get stuck in there and they're not good for your ear. You can damage your eardrum and all sorts of things. I still do it. I can't help it. I'm sorry, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Well, I tell you what, somebody who does know what to do is Neel Raithatha. He is genuinely a YouTube sensation. He's a bit like the pimple popper of the ear world. He removes wax and does a lot more besides from the hair clinic in Leicester. I've been told this many times, don't do it, don't use an earbud, but you know, I've just seen a video of yours where you've removed a cotton bud that was lodged into somebody's ear, Neel.
Yeah, that's correct. So what I would stress to everyone listening to this show is please do not use cotton buds or Q-tips. I had a video that went viral just, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and it was a gentleman on New Year's Eve of all days who got a Q-tip or a cotton bud stuck very deep in his ear, and his ear was also infected, and he was in agony. And fortunately, I was open on New Year's Eve, and he came, I think, from Staffordshire, and I managed to remove it. But there's been other incidents of cotton buds being stuck in the ear that's actually caused significant and severe health issues. There was a gentleman that in Coventry, I believe, who had a cotton bud stuck in his ear, and it caused an infection, and it caused a condition called Necrotizing Otitis Externa, and it can actually be life-threatening. Unfortunately, this gentleman survived, so it may just look like a piece of plastic with a piece of cotton wool attached, but it can be very serious. It typically just forces the wax further in anyway. A lot of people use cotton buds if they've got an itch as well. That could just be you've got some sort of eczema of the ear called Otitis Externa, and there's over-the-counter treatments available such as ear calm, or you could go to your GP, you can prescribe medications such as Otamize or acetic acid, and they're very, very good stuff to relieve an itch. But yeah, please stay away from cotton buds.
Right, because I've just watched that video and it's not fun, it's not pleasant, because you I mean, we spoke to you last year on the programme, you know, and you've got this title, You Are the Wax Whisperer, because you created this amazing bit of kit where you can, you know, watch everything, record everything on a phone, and remove the wax quite quickly and quite easily. You've won loads and loads of awards since we last caught up with you.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind the last few months. So I've won a couple of awards, both been voted the best independent audiology clinic in the UK. So one of the awards were presented by a global health magazine called Global Health and Pharmaceutical, and the other one was an award issued by another organisation, an online magazine called Corporate Livewire Excellence and Innovations Awards, and that was more to do with the device that I developed. So yeah, it's been fantastic on a personal level, but also I think it's helped raise awareness about hearing loss and earwax and everything that entails with what I do as an audiologist. Also in the last few months I've moved to a larger new clinic. It's a dream for me. I've managed to get all the equipment I've ever dreamed of in there. So yeah, it's been an exciting last few months.
And not only that, you've got TV companies as well, sort of on the verge of offering you some sort of TV programmes as well.
That's true. I've been approached by a couple of TV production companies, one stateside and one in the UK. They want to do almost a spin-off show of Dr. Pimple Popper. So for anyone who doesn't know who Dr. Pimple Popper is, she's also a YouTube sensation. She's a dermatologist and she pops pimples for a living. I'm sure she does a lot more than that. She's got her own YouTube channel, and a couple of years ago she had her own TV show on TLC. So as with TV, and you're in the industry yourself, showbiz, it's loads of hurdles to jump through, but hopefully in the next year or so you'll be seeing me performing our procedures live on TV.
That's amazing. And in fact, I mean, you're in all the national papers with a lot of the stories and a lot of the stuff that you do, particularly with sort of the instrument that you've got and what you kind of end up removing from ears. We talked about cotton buds, but what other stuff have you kind of ended up removing from people's ears?
Oh, the list is so long and it's exhaustive. Just the other week, I removed a hearing aid battery from someone's ear. It's a lovely gentleman of mine, a very lovely client, and he's had a few health issues of late, and he's profoundly deaf. So the first thing he does in the morning is to reach out for his hearing aid, and bless him, he wasn't quite with it in the morning, and he reached over to his bedside table and he accidentally picked up a hearing aid battery and got it lodged in his ear. I've also removed twigs. I had a child who came in, and I think they were playing at school, and they were ripping off twigs from branches and putting it inside each other's ears. I've removed a tooth comb, believe it or not, before. So someone had an itch and they had a comb and they were scratching the outside part of the ear.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was a very sharp tooth comb as well. So they were very lucky they didn't cause any damage.
What about this thing about, using olive oil and garlic and things like that? Is that stuff kind of good for you?
Yeah, so there's loads of types of earwax drops available over the counter. And earwax drops should really be used as a preventative measure. I think once you've got a substantial amount of earwax, these drops are not really going to do much other than soften the earwax. Now, if you're still having your ears cleaned by the traditional method, via your nurse or your GP using ear syringing, or what we call now ear irrigation, the wax does have to be softened prior to removal. So whilst you're using these drops, it can make your symptoms worse because the wax can absorb the drops, expand and swell. So I always recommend use drops as a precautionary method. Prevention is always better than cure. So even if you don't have earwax, to help prevent you developing an impacted ear, just use drops on a regular basis. So you can use olive oils. Don't use home olive oil. The stuff over the counter has been chemically treated. It's safe to use in the ear. There's other drops like sodium bicarbonate drops, Otex.
Loads of other things as well. Look, it's been a joy having you in the studio, Neel, again. Thank you very much indeed. Check him out. He's on YouTube, and you've got gazillion, it feels like gazillion compared to me.
I lost count. I think it's 120 million views now.
Wow. He is the Wax Whisperer, or the Hair Clinic here in Leicester. Neel Raithatha.